Good evening. My name is Willie Ray, and I want to be your junior class president. Now, what does being a junior class president entail? Well, to be a junior class president, it means that I, as your president, will be bridging the gap between the student body and the administration. It means I need to organize committees, voice your concerns, and be the first to these events before they can even start. And becoming a model student, modeling the ideals and morals we need to hold at the law magnet. It means doing all this with the expectation that I will end up coming short in the end. As your president, I am obliged to take an oath. I am binded by that oath or my promise to you. This includes my promise to dedicate my time and attention to your advancement. As your president, your better education is my top priority. I promise to be your voice when you cannot speak, whether it be transparency, whether it be your absence, whether it be out of fear, or whether it be to back you up when you are arguing. It is my job as your president to reinforce you. I promise to work with the uncompromising. So if the principal or Mr. Gonzalez or if the counselors are being rather difficult, my job is to stay there and constantly ask and ask and ask, whether it be through emails, whether it be through meetings, or finding an alternative. I promise to be a pillar of the morals and ethics of the law magnet. I am, as your president, binded not only just by the laws and by the restrictions, but also by my own morals. So I bring my morals from my home life and I apply them to my outside life, my public life. I, as your president, am to embody what you seek in a model citizen, in your model neighbor. I promise to use my position purely for your betterment and for your service. My position is not one of power. It is not one for my own advancement. It is for you. And finally, I promise to encourage school unity. As a president, my job is to unify us and to bring us together, not divide us. If I was to drive a further wedge between other schools and I would be betraying you, denying you the right to collaborate with other schools. Now, let's get a little bit into my plan. You've heard a bit of my oath, but what do I plan on doing? Number one, I want larger collaborative events with other student organizations, like the Hope Squad. When I was a freshman, I actually attended a large Valentine dance orchestrated by the Hope Squad. And I saw a lot of parallels and a lot of what they did differently. Parallels being, the large organization, but the differences being that there were not as much parents in BTSA, more private. I want greater transparency from the law administration. So I want a revolving door policy. I want the administration of the law magnet, whether it be the principal or others, to be a bit more transparent about their actions, to give us at least an understanding of why they are doing what they are doing. I think we as students are entitled to that as we are growing up, and denying us an explanation sort of kind of takes away from our individualism. It takes away from our free of rights, thereby forcing us, reverting us back to the position of children. I want accessible academic aids for important tests, ACT, SAT. I want accessible aids, okay? Books, accessible tests, printed out tests, incremental classes. I want those review nights weekly or bi-weekly, not for me, but for you. So if you are feeling anxious about this, you and those others can slowly come together and piece and pull an idea, a thought, a plan. I want access to enrichment programs all year round. That includes youth and government enrichment plans. That includes youth advocacy enrichment plans. That includes enrichment plans of reaching out. I want those plans all year round. And so to get those done, I will need to work with our college transition teachers, Mr. Smeltzer, Mr. T, and Mr. Gonzalez for the seniors. And then access to student competitions, whether it be poetry competitions, speech competitions. There's a lot of competitions. Writing competitions are out there, and some you may see posted, some you may not see posted. As a law magnet, we have a very diverse student body. And so I need to be able to encompass all this diversity or at least acknowledge the diversity and cater to it. And finally, just candy in the law office. You know, it's easy. You just have a bowl, you put some candy there, something to reduce the load of maybe a tardy pass or going to the office and having to get dress coded or talking a lot. Now, with this plan, I need to explain what I've done so far. What all have I achieved for you? In the past, I'm still working with the Dallas Youth Commission. As a matter of fact, I am progressing further, and I am intending on this position of secretary for the Dallas Youth Commission. I am connected to Dallas trustees. Prior to the election in April and March, I went out there and March and April, I actually began speaking with them, and I interviewed a lot of trustees and a lot of former city council members. Then outreach, I have a network as far as UNT business. I was in business for a summer enrichment program. So I have, knowledge, I have experience, I have people there who know me, who I am actually working with right now. We have advanced to the Secretary of SVEC, and I've registered and helped people register for voting in the municipality. I have actually helped people register for the voting in the past elections, and I can do that for you. If you don't want to, register to vote, that's perfectly fine. But there's a lot of volunteer hours to be logged, a lot of volunteer hours to be gained from going out there and helping with governance. And so as your president, I will be helping with that. And finally, connected to advocacy organizations. Commonly, I'm gonna butcher this name, but Somotechas. Pardon, I'll post the link below. But I reached out to a lot of the representatives and met up with them at the same time I was working with the elections. Now, for experience, right? Because you want somebody who not only has knowledge and plans, but also has experience. 3 years serving on the Youth Democracy Committee, a subcommittee of the Dallas Youth Commission. In this, I have 3 years worth of tracking, organizing meetings, and data, and then leading these orientations. Meaning I was taking all this information and I was putting it into a sheet, and I was giving this sheet to our higher supervisors and presenting this data before them. I have 2 summers worth of learning policy making directly from DC politicians, whether this be meeting senators like Tim Scott and sending emails. I've got 3 years worth of JROTC leadership, planning, and tracking PSAT data. That's right, I have 3 years worth of taking a PSAT on the math section and then tracking that data, and then 3 years of working on presentable data before a mock-up of the Joint Chiefs of Staff for JROTC. Furthermore, I have advanced or am advancing currently into the 5th Brigade leadership overall for my JROTC sector. This means on a higher level, I will be organizing orientations, collecting information, and distributing this information to my peers. And then finally, I spent this past summer city planning, and I actually understand a lot of how our city works, down to the city and municipal government, as well as the city management office. Now, I'm not trying to flex or anything, but I do not think that your potential candidates can tell you the difference between the Dallas city manager and the Dallas mayor. Now, my name is Willie Ray, and I ask a favor of you. You have heard my qualifications, and I need you to put me in the room where it happens. If you put me in the room where it happens, I can make things happen. Thank you.